Alright, hey everyone, welcome to 6.2 Matrix Operations Example C. This one is very similar to the one that we just did with Example B, except it's more complex as far as all the operations that you have to do, adding and subtracting. Is really the only thing is adding and subtracting and keeping everything straight. That's probably going to be the most difficult, is just making everything nice and ordered. But the good thing about matrices is that that's what they do. They are ordered lists of stuff. So it should be kind of easy to do this as long as you can keep track of it all. So here's an example. It says determine the dimensions of the matrix product, and it's -1, 0, 0, 1, and -3, 1, 2, 2, 3, and -2. So we want to know what is the answer going to be as far as the dimensions. So what we're going to do is we're going to write this one as it's a 2-row by 2-column. The rows go this way, and the columns go up and down. So this would be a column, and this would be a column. Alright, so this one is a 2 by 2. Alright, and we're going to do the same thing. This one is a 1, 2 row, so it's a 2 by 1, 2, 3 column. So it's a 2 by 3. Alright, so a nice easy trick is if you write this out, you can tell first if you can even multiply them, and second, what it's going to look like if you do. So what you want to do is if you look at the middle two, those two have to be the same number in order to multiply them. If they're anything but the same number, this one's a 3 and that one's a 2, you can't multiply them. If this one's a 3 and this one's a 3, then you can't. No matter what number they are, they have to be the same. So if those two numbers are the same, then the resultant matrix is going to be a 2 by 3. So our matrix product is going to be a 2 by 3 matrix. Alright, so it's going to be a 2 by 3. So when we describe and calculate this product, we know that our answer is going to be a 2 by 3. So it should look like this. A1, A2, A3, and this would be B1, B2, B3. I'm just making up some letters. There should be 3 across, 2 rows, 3 columns. Okay, it's good. So now let's describe and calculate this product. What we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing, rows and columns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this using some different colors, because hopefully that'll kind of make sense as far as keeping everything straight. So the first row is going to be -1, 0, and the second row is going to be, let's make it blue, 0, 1. Alright, so we have those, that's in a matrix, and we're going to multiply that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do columns for this. Okay, if you remember from what we did last time, we multiplied this one by these two, and then this one by these two. So what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to do columns for these in the same colors. Alright, so it's going to be -3, 2, and then we're going to have 1, 3, and then we are going to have 2, -2. Okay, so that's going to be our new matrix right there. Okay, so we're going to be multiplying those together. So what we're going to do is I'm going to draw these little dotted lines, and before I just did them on this side to keep track of, keep these separate. But now I'm going to do this every time because I know that if I don't, I'm going to make a mistake. So what we're going to do is if we want to find the first spot right here, that's going to be the first row multiplied by the first column and then add them together. So it's 1 and 1. So that means first row times first column. So what I'm going to do is it's the first one times the first one, the second one times the second one, row times column. So it's going to be -1 plus 0, and I'm just doing this so I can save some time with the colors. It's going to be -1 times -3 plus 0 times 2. Okay, so -1 times -3, or -1 times -3, 0 times 2. That's the first spot, A1. Alright, and then the next one is going to be -1 plus 0. And instead of red, I'm in the first row, second column. So I'm in the first row, second column. -1 times 1 and 0 times 3. Alright, so that's my first row, second column. If I want to do first row, third column, I'm in the first row, third column. So I'm going to do the same thing again, -1 and 0, and I'm going to multiply those by -1 times 2 and 0 times -2. Alright, so there's my first row, third column. First row, third column. See how I kind of got that to be color coordinated? Good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is the same thing. The second row, we're going to do second row, so it's going to be 0 and 1 add together, and then it's going to be in red, so it's going to be -3 and 2. Notice how the red numbers line up here. They should, that's okay. And notice how all the purples are here. That's how it should work. So I'm trying to keep it nice and color coordinated. So now it's going to be second row, second column. So it's going to be 0 plus 1. And I'm going to be multiplying by the green ones, which are 1, 3 in order. 1 and 3. Okay, good. And then we're going to do the last row, 0 and 1. And that's going to be times 2 and -2. 2 and -2. Alright, so hopefully you see what we've done here. I'm just going to put the block brackets around, and we have this. So now we've basically gotten everything. The purple across, the blue across, the red up and down, the green up and down, the brown up and down. Okay, so now I just have to do those operations and clean it up, and we're done. Okay, so -3 times -1 is going to be +3 plus 0. And this next one is going to be -1 times 1 is going to be 1 plus 0. And then if you notice, all these are going to be zeros. -1 times 2 is going to be -2 plus 0. And then we've got this one. 0 times -3 plus 1 times 2 is going to be 0 plus 2. This is going to be 0 plus 3. And this is going to be 0 plus -2. All right. So then all I have to do is just add those together and I'm finished. 3 plus 0 is 3. 1 plus 0 is 1. -2 plus 0 is -2. And then I've got 0 plus 2 is 2. And then I've got 3. And then I've got -2. And there is my solution. Now how does this actually compare to the original that we had back up here? Our original was 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, -2. If you notice, 3, 1, -2 is the opposites. Our original was -3, 1, 2, 2, 3, -2. So really the only difference is this one is, the first one is switched, the last one is switched, and that is it. Alright. Oh, that's why. This should be a -1 there, so that should be a -1 there. Ooh, I made my first mistake ever. Alright. So -3 or 3 is a positive. That's a -1, and that is a -2. Okay, so all these switched. So this one is a +2. That's yep, +2 is okay. +3 is okay, and -2 is okay. So the only thing that changed were these x values, right? If we're looking at the point as if it's the triangle that we had from example A, the only thing that changed was the x values switched from positives to negatives and negatives to positives. The y values stayed exactly the same. Alright, so hopefully that helped as far as multiplying matrices, and here is your assignment. It says to, there we go, multiply the matrices if possible. So think about what type of matrix is this one, what type of matrix is this one. What I did for you also is I color coordinated it. Remember, you're doing row times column. Alright, good luck.